It's been a little while where I've had a day to just be able to work on whatever I want. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be doing a little bit of a mix between the 23 WRX, the 17 STI, and some stuff to the RX-7. It's gonna be a wild cross triple collaboration. I don't know. We're gonna be starting off by going over to the shop, then we're gonna be coming back, doing the rear sway bar on the WRX, pulling some 3 horsepower out of the car because somebody brought up a good point. It is very similar to what I had in the 23 BRZ. I'm also gonna debadge it, and then we've got a ton of JDM goodies coming for this car tomorrow from our friends over at Rally Sport. So let's let this WRX warm up. Let's swing over to the shop for a little while, knock out a couple things I've been wanting to do on the STI. It's supposed to rain today. I'd really like it to not do. That'd be really cool. Hey, language, I'm filming and you're gonna be in my YouTube video. Now I gotta bleep you out.
Oh, good.
The poor STI has just been sitting in timeout. That's all right. I'm still waiting on out front, bring me that new engine, but I got, A, I needed to grab some stuff from the shop. B, I wanted to toss on my new Fender that I got for the STI. C, I need gas in the VB, and I've got 15 gallons of it right there that I had allocated for the STI, but I don't want that gas to go bad, so I'd rather use it and then just get more for the STI later. So fill up the VB while we're here. And then C, I wanted to push the STI out and get some photos with the VA and the VB. So I guess I'll just start off by swapping out a Fender real quick. It's like 8 bolts, it's not bad. That's all that's left of my Fender. Oh my God. This is not an OEM Fender, so I don't know how well this will or will not fit, so I'm kind of hoping it just fits decent. Yo, that's really not bad for aftermarket Fender fitment. I bought aftermarket ones. I still have to buy the front left, but I wanted to buy one first so I could check the quality. Honestly, not bad. 200 bucks for this Fender. OEM ones are like 350 to 400 plus shipping, which shipping is like 325 bucks each. For a Fender that I'm just gonna cut up for a wide body that's coming from Russia, that's actually not bad. It comes primered, so I actually have World Rally Blue spray paint sitting around the shop somewhere, but I'm not gonna worry about trying to paint this thing right now. I do wanna get it off jack stands, get it pushed out next to the VB real quick, just so I can get some photos of it. Plus, I haven't seen this thing out of the shop in like a year, so let's get this thing off jack stands real quick, get it pushed out. Dude, it's so weird to see Blue, and I guess Baby Blue is your name now, like right next to each other. Like, this car hasn't seen the light of day in months. This poor soul. Like, they're not like crazy different from one another if you like really look at them. Like, I still prefer the styling of the VA over the VB, but I really like the VB now, like styling wise, once it's been modified a little bit. But damn, Blue, you got some dust on you. Go over this car real quick and just give it a quick wipe down to get a lot of this dust off of it, and probably sweep out the shop and whatnot since I have an opportunity right now. All right, Blue STI is pushed back into the shop. That was a heavy car. That thing is way heavier than I remember it being, but I just wanted to get that fender on. I had to grab some stuff. I want to go back to the house now and start working on the VB. There's a couple things that I want to do, one of which being a way to get some free horsepower out of the car, because if you're like me and you have a 23 WRX, the access ports just aren't out yet and you can't tune the cars. But there are some free things, because those ones are pretty cool because they have ECUs that are a little bit more self-learning than Subarus of the past, so it should be able to handle what we do just fine. It's not a big deal. But anyways, before I go over there, I am starving because that took all of my energy to push that thing back in here. So I'm gonna grab some lunch real quick, which leads me to today's video partner, Factor. So I wanna give a huge shout out to the guys over at Factor. Now maybe you're like me and you're lazy and you do a lot of takeout and it's really expensive and it's really not that good for you. Factor has been coming in clutch for me. A, I don't have to go anywhere to get food. These get delivered right to my house. B, they take 2 minutes to heat up, which is freaking awesome. They taste delicious. They're easy to make and they're calorie conscious. To make them, you just poke some holes in the top of it, pop this guy in the microwave for 2 minutes. Today I've got a delicious turkey chili zucchini heating up in here. You get the smoothies too. These things are pretty minty, to be honest. I've been drinking these also. This one is strawberry banana. Is nice. Now all of these Factor meals have around 550 calories or below, and they are dietitian approved. So A, you save time, you don't gotta go grocery shopping. B, they're good on calories for a meal. C, if you're like me, you don't have a lot of time, they're good on the go things. D, they taste great. C, they're affordable. And B, you get 50% off your first box. So what are you waiting for? Ooh. Now if you're on a stricter diet and maybe you don't eat meat, they do have vegan friendly options as well. What do you do for lunch every day? I sit on the floor of my shop and I eat these delicious Factor meals. 10 out of 10. Easy to make, dude. We literally just made it sitting here. Like I said, if Factor is something for you guys, that is incredibly hotter than I was anticipating, but very delicious. If Factor sounds like something for you guys, like I said, head over to www.factor75.com, use code Smeedia50, get 50% off your first box. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna eat my lunch in peace here, and then we'll go start working on the WRX. I've done my business here. I've eaten my lunch. I refueled the WRX. Let's take it back to the house. Let's give it a little bit more power. Let's make it look a little bit better. Let's make it handle a little bit better, because I got some good stuff sitting in the house for this thing. Let's talk about some free horsepower stuff, because that's what we like, right? Like I said, 23 WRXs, access ports are not out for these cars yet, but there is one thing you can do to free up some horsepower. Now with emissions becoming more and more strict for car manufacturers, they put in more crap. And by putting in more crap, it restricts some of the horsepower. Now I've seen claims and a couple dyno videos that you can get some horsepower out of this. I've seen claims up to 9 wheel horsepower, which for removing this one thing really is not that bad. And it's super easy to do. I mentioned this earlier with my 23 BRZ when I was working on that thing. Inside of here, there's a charcoal filter. Now the only reason logically thinking that they would put a charcoal filter in the intake is that obviously when the car's running, it produces vacuum and it's always sucking. There's always air flowing through here, going through the intake, going down to the turbo, reading and all that stuff. But when you shut the car off, in the way that the car's designed in the PCV system, some of that routes back into the intake track, and when that PCV goes back in or back through, it has a tendency, or it can potentially leak back out of the intake into the environment after the car has ran. Now that is the entire job of that charcoal filter, is to filter out any particulate that may be coming out of the intake going into the atmosphere after the car's been shut off. So what we're gonna do is just pop these two guys open, take this guy off, reach our grimy little mitts in there. We may need to undo that one little bushing right there for the 10mm, sneak our hands in here, and you can see it right there, the charcoal filter. Actually, I don't even need to undo any of this, just this guy and the MAF sensor, and then we can rip that guy out of there. And then after we do that, we are gonna get on this super swag rear sway bar that Perrin sent over for us, which I'm a little excited for because it's a hollow rear sway bar, so sick. We got bushings, all the fun stuff for that guy. I also got in like some JDM water pumps for the RX-7, the ethanol sensor and thing. So like I said, we're gonna be jumping around today. I also want to debadge this thing to make it look a little bit better. Undo one clamp. The MAF sensor. Or is this just gonna come out? I guess I'll take the air filter out so I don't demolish that. Never mind. I guess I won't because it doesn't want to come out. Oh, okay, there we go. Look at that. This guy is what we're gonna be removing, the charcoal filter, which is kind of dumb. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Try to clean off some of these fibers. I had to finagle with this guy to get it back in. clamp job. Take this guy out here in a little bit too after we do all these mods and see if we can feel any difference. I think we're gonna be able to feel a 9 horsepower difference. I mean, this thing is pretty restrictive, don't get me wrong. Like, that feels really restrictive. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's gonna free up some horsepower, but I don't know. Let's see if we can at least get some more induction noise out of it. So I do hear a little bit more induction noise out of it, and I also hear like some extra little pops out of the exhaust. That's kind of cool. I mean, for like free 99, that's not bad. This thing. I hit the RX-7 with it. Sweet, pretty pumped with that. We'll go drive this thing a little bit. Like I said, these more modern Subarus do have a more adaptive and learning ECM, so they are able to make corrections to a degree. So we're gonna be totally fine with that. So let's back the WRX back into the driveway. I wanna debadge the rear end. We'll leave the WRX emblem and get rid of the rest of them. In hopes of decluttering this rear end, we're just gonna take off all this crap. Get it out of here. I get that it's a Subaru, it says right there, and it's symmetrical all-wheel drive. All Subarus are, except for BRZs, we get it. That's the other thing about brand new cars, is the badges come off so freaking easy, dude. 2 for 1. I mean, it's not like people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, is that an STI? No one's gonna think that. Look at that, we're already freaking done now just to get all the crap off. Honestly, I don't even think I need heat or goo gun or anything, man. All this stuff's just gonna come right off. Way better. How's it look back here? Money. Sway bar time. So here's everything Perrin gives us for the sway bar itself. 2 of the brackets for the new bushings, 2 bushing spacers to push it away from the frame of the body, the grease to be able to lube up the bushings, and some washers to be able to get everything spaced accordingly. To get the old sway bar out, it's really easy. Underneath of the car, your sway bar is right here, so we're gonna go ahead and unbolt it from the end link on both sides, undo these 2 12mm nuts on both sides. This whole sway bar will come out. We're also gonna loosen the end link right there. You can see how like stock end links are. They look like pencil. They're honestly probably pencil thin. So this should be a pretty quick install, I guess maybe 15 minutes. So let's get this old sway bar out. We'll compare it up to the new one, and then we can go ahead and reinstall the new one. Almost hit the camera. Old sway bar's out. And go ahead and open up our grease packet here and grease up. All right, so we're gonna take the spacer, and the spacer is gonna go right here, then the sway bar, bushing, and then the new provided bracket. There's no arrows on these ones, so I don't think orientation really matters. Slide it up and over the exhaust. Okay, so we're gonna go tightest, which is going to be the rearmost hole, because I want this thing to be nice and tight. We have the sway bar all installed. Honestly, pretty simple install. As you can see, you want those end links to be as horizontal as possible. Now with this, I went for the stiffer setting, so you're gonna use the rear hole for the stiffer setting. You're gonna slide these brackets all the way forward. As you can see, they're adjustable. You're gonna do that on both sides, and then make sure that you do retighten down these end link guys. So rear sway bar's installed. We'll go drive this thing here shortly, see how she feels. But for now, let me get it off jack stands. New jack stand. We're in the future a little bit. I've got the WRX warming up because I want to go take it out to see if we can notice a difference with the charcoal filter off, to see if the car feels any responsive or any more responsive. B, I want to see if I can feel any change with that rear sway bar. In that time, I was working on the RX-7, cleaning the alternator, painting some brackets, getting some belts on there and whatnot. And while working on the RX-7, we got in some goodies for the 23 WRX. So we got a carbon fiber front lip here, carbon fiber rear spats, carbon fiber side skirts. So that'll all be in its own video tomorrow. Like I said, a lot of JDM stuff gets dropped off. So top of the WRX, let's go drive this thing a little bit, see if we can notice any change with that charcoal filter out, and see if it feels any stiff. I have a feeling it'll feel stiffer, more stiffler. Okay, so the overall goal here is to see if the car feels any more responsive, if it feels any faster, and if it feels any stiffer, which I have a feeling it's gonna be all of those. I have a feeling we're gonna feel pretty stiff by the end of this drive. Hello, Honda. Dude's like seriously mobbing. We should mob. Woo! I'm not gonna say it's fast, it's quick. It feels more, it does feel more responsive. I'm about it. You get a little bit more induction noise by taking out that charcoal filter too, I've noticed. It's not a crazy amount, but for a stock intake, because I don't really have any other option, it's not bad. Dude, it feels good. I am very curious to see what we'll do once we actually get to some tuning. But it does feel like it's a noticeable difference in response. Like that charcoal filter, if you guys pull yours out, don't eat it, but like put it up to your mouth and try to blow through it or try to suck through it, and you can genuinely feel just how restrictive it is. This thing got me feeling like I want to drive stupid. I've noticed, and it could be totally placebo, because this is like the first time I'm actually getting on the car decent, I guess, is that it does have, it's got like more like little like pops in the exhaust now. It could be placebo. I don't know if that's a direct effect of pulling out that charcoal filter, but more air means more fuel, more air means bigger combustion, more combustion means bigger, not bigger boom, but boom. And then when the boom happens, we get the stuff out of the exhaust that makes the sound that we like. A lot of people were commenting on the single exit exhaust. I don't remember if I mentioned it in that video, but that is a temporary exhaust till the ETS one comes in. Truck said, see ya. We'll go to the moon. Do you want to go to the moon for free? Disconnect your reference line from your wastegate. It'll send your turbo straight to the moon. Tell me one person out there who don't want that. You feeling ballsy one day? You getting bullied by little Jimmy down the road? Nah. All right, give me some throttle response here, WRX. Oh, 12.5. I got one extra PSI, or like 1/10 of a PSI out of that. I think that's all I'm getting on stock tune is 12.5 PSI. That ain't bad though. The car feels like, it feels way more responsive than it did before. And honestly, the sway bar, even though I'm only making minor adjustments when correcting, it still feels, if A, it feels stiffer, but B, the car feels way more planted than it did before. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with that. Shout out to Perrin for sending that over. Mr. Jeff Perrin from Perrin Performance. What? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Overall, I would say that is a worthwhile thing to do if you are still like stock intake on your WRX, or if you're looking for a little bit more of like a rigid, like solid suspension feel. Rear sway bar was an awesome one. So like I said, a lot of stuff coming up for the 2023 in the next couple of videos, even further going to change the look of the car. So with that, that's all I got for you guys right now on this one. I am still waiting on some parts to come in for the RX-7. I still need to order the ignition system. We need the Greddy V-mount kit. We need the cat back. more stuff I have to do on that. So anyways, like I said, that's all I got for you guys. And go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel yet and you want to be able to put it in one of these corners, no idea which one quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies. Woo!